I was kidnapped by 4 classmates, abused several times and tortured to death in the most brutal way. My story is still one of the most horrific deaths in Japan. I am Junko Furuta, an ordinary girl who still had her whole life ahead of her. One day I was stopped in a park and threatened by 2 classmates. If I didn't follow them silently, they would kill me. They took me to a house owned by one of the boys. Little did I know that I had crossed the gate to hell. I ended up being raped several times until I bled. But nothing compares to the level of brutality I endured over the next 44 days. More friends were invited to join in the atrocities. I was hung from the ceiling naked by my wrists and used as a punching bag. After that they gagged me, beat me with handcuffs and burned my body with cigarettes. One day, they inserted light bulbs and iron rods into my vagina and anus and even set off firecrackers in them, causing severe burns and ruptures of my internal organs. Every now and then I was raped by 12 men in a single day. I was forced to smoke several cigarettes at a time and inhale paint thinner. They threw a gym ball at my stomach multiple times, which partially caused loss of bladder control and damage to my genitals. They pierced my breast with a sewing needle where one of my nipples ripped off. Once when I tried to call the police, they doused me with lighter fluid and my body caught fire. Most of the time I was naked and had to masturbate in front of my captors. Some urinated on me, and I was forced to drink my own urine. Over a period of 44 days, I was abused by 100 different men. After begging for death, I was locked up overnight and later locked in a refrigerator. On my last day of torture, the boys asked me to play a game of Mahjong with them. They told me that if I won, I would be allowed to go home. I won the game, but instead of releasing me, I was beaten with handcuffs in anger, doused with gasoline, and set on fire. I went into shock and died in the following hours on January 4, 1989. Because the boys were afraid of being convicted of murder, they put my body in a big barrel and filled it with cement. The police later found the body. Despite the shocking brutality, the identities of the boys were kept secret by the court because they were all considered juveniles at the time of the crime. In July 1990, the ringleader of the crime was sentenced by a court to just 20 years in prison.